All right, let's break down what's really happening. We're kicking off the week with major developments across Europe, and the first stop is London, where things are getting heated. Thousands of people have flooded the streets, and it's all about the government's plan to roll out a mandatory digital ID. Prime Minister Keir Starmer just announced that soon this digital identity will be a requirement for anyone who wants to hold a job in Britain. The idea is to have this ID stored on your smartphone, replacing your driver's license and a whole stack of other documents. Now, I used to be on the inside at one of those big media corporations where the narrative is king. I saw how the real stories, the ones that truly affect you, get buried or twisted. That's why I left. I'm independent now, and I'm here to tell you what's actually going on without the spin. If you believe in that mission, if you want the unfiltered truth, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you can, consider becoming a sponsor. It's your support that keeps this channel independent and allows me to bring you the real story day after day. It means the world to me. The official line on this new digital ID in the UK is that it's all about fighting illegal employment and cutting through bureaucratic red tape. But the critics and the thousands of people protesting, they see something far more sinister. They're calling it a giant leap towards total government control. So you have this massive protest under heavy police watch, but thankfully, no major incidents so far. The question is still hanging in the air, and society is split right down the middle. Is this about convenience and the future, or is it a tool for surveillance and total control over every single citizen? It's a debate that's not going away anytime soon. Meanwhile, across the channel in France, they're dealing with their own set of headaches. The week started with some seriously bad news for their economy, as the price of French government bonds took a nosedive. This happened right after one of the major credit rating agencies hit France with an unexpected downgrade, completely killing the buzz from the government's recent budget success. And as if that wasn't enough, the fallout from that brazen jewelry heist at the Louvre continues to unfold. A preliminary report from France's audit office has now confirmed what many suspected, that there were serious security lapses at the museum. It turns out those precious jewels weren't under much protection at all. President Emmanuel Macron is out there, of course, assuring everyone that they're doing everything possible to catch the criminals and recover the stolen items. His new Minister of the Interior, Laurent Nunez, is suggesting this was the work of highly experienced thieves, possibly from another country. What a twist, right? He seems pretty confident that all 4 suspects they've identified will be caught quickly. But the Paris prosecutor thinks this is a much bigger operation, a criminal organization with masterminds and smaller players. Now here's where it gets really interesting. They've brought in an Israeli security firm, the CGI Group, which was founded by a former head of Israel's security service. This is the same company that cracked the massive Dresden Museum heist back in 2019, where over 100 million euros worth of jewels were taken. So now the race is on. Who's going to solve this first, the French authorities or the Israeli specialists? Now let's jump over to Germany, where the political landscape is really heating up. Chancellor Friedrich Merz has been in high-level talks with his party leadership over the last couple of days, tackling some very tough questions. One of the biggest topics on the table was how to handle the rise of the right-wing Alternative for Germany, or AfD. Well, today, Merz came out and made a bold declaration. He basically said, if we govern effectively, there will be no need for an alternative for Germany. He accused the AfD of trying to destroy his Christian Democratic Union party and declared, "We accept this challenge." He emphasized that the key is to counter them with successful government work and maintain his party's position as the leading political force in the country. This is a direct declaration of war on the AfD, folks. We are about to witness a political battle in Germany like we've never seen before. And there's more. Merz also spoke about the growing anxiety among Germans over hybrid attacks, drone threats, and cyber warfare. He announced plans for a Berlin Declaration, a new security program designed to protect Germany from these modern threats. At the same time, his defense minister, Boris Pistorius, is doubling down on American military tech. He just announced the purchase of another 15 F-35 fighter jets, a deal worth about 2.5 billion euros. This is on top of the 35 they already ordered to replace their old Tornado fleet. So Germany's Air Force will soon have 50 F-35s plus 20 new Eurofighters. This massive rearmament is in full swing, but it's causing some serious friction. France is not happy. Their joint project with Germany to build a sixth-generation fighter jet is now in serious jeopardy. Paris and Berlin have been fighting for leadership for a long time, and if they can't find a compromise by the end of this year, that massive project could completely collapse. Back in Washington, you can bet they're pleased. Donald Trump has been pushing European countries for years to spend more on defense, and now American defense contractors are raking in billions. This feeling of escalating tension isn't just in Germany. Sweden's Defense Minister Paul Jönsson has joined the chorus, urging everyone in Europe to prepare for the possibility of war, both mentally and militarily. His message was stark: we must switch to a war mode to decisively deter, defend, and preserve peace. That's a direct call to shift into a war mode. While some countries are focused on military readiness, Spain is taking a stand on a different front. Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez has declared that he sees no point in daylight saving time. He called the practice outdated and plans to push for its abolition across the entire European Union. He argues that there's no real proof it saves energy and that it negatively impacts people's health and well-being. It's a fascinating move, prioritizing public health over an old tradition. We'll have to see if he can get the rest of the EU on board. And speaking of a different kind of stability, let's look at Italy. Giorgia Meloni's government has just become the third longest lasting in the country's post-war history, clocking in at 1,093 days as of this past Sunday. Think about that. In a country famous for its political turnover, where the average government lasts just over a year, this is a major milestone. They've even calculated that if her government survives until September of 2026, it will officially become the most durable Italian government in the last 80 years. It's a remarkable achievement in a notoriously turbulent political system. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you're getting value from this breakdown. Now let's zoom out to the European Union as a whole. The EU's High Representative for Foreign Affairs, Kaja Kallas, just made a significant announcement in Luxembourg. She said that as soon as the 19th package of sanctions against Russia is approved, work will immediately begin on a powerful 20th package, and she made it clear that 20th package won't be the last. The EU Council also gave its final approval to a complete phase-out of Russian gas. They've set a date, January 1st, 2028. That's when the tap will be turned off for good. Until then, existing long-term contracts can continue, but the final cutoff is now locked in. And of course, we have to touch on what's happening in the United States. Donald Trump is back to his old tricks, trolling his opponents. He just released a video with a very clear message about the future of his political movement. The video shows a series of his campaign signs, starting with 2024, and then they just keep going on and on into infinity, finally ending with a sign that just says forever. It's his way of telling the Democrats and the world that even if he's not in the picture, Trumpism is here to stay. It lived, it lives, and it will live forever. It's a powerful piece of political messaging designed to show the enduring strength of his base and his ideas. These are the kinds of developments that tell you so much about where things are heading. So, to quickly recap what we've covered, we're seeing a massive public pushback in the UK against a new mandatory digital ID system, with people fearing a slide into total surveillance. In France, the government is grappling with a financial downgrade and a high-profile museum heist that has exposed major security flaws. Germany is entering a fierce internal political battle as the mainstream declares war on the rising right wing, all while embarking on a massive military build-up that's shaking up its European alliances. The EU is forging ahead with more sanctions and a definitive end to its reliance on Russian gas. And in the US, Donald Trump is making it clear that his political movement is a permanent fixture on the American landscape. These are not isolated events. They are all connected, painting a picture of a world in rapid transition. Stay informed and stay critical. Thank you for tuning in. If you appreciate this no-nonsense approach to the news, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video. And if you're in a position to do so, please consider becoming a channel sponsor. Your support is what makes this independent platform possible, and it allows me to continue bringing you the stories that truly matter. I'll see you tomorrow.